They've taken this franchise way too far. How far will they take it more? Or will they be taken even farther than before? But I've taken a liking to this franchise. Will Liam Neeson be taking a shit sometime in this movie? I don't know. Maybe he'll take 3. Maybe 3 will be taken. Maybe this is just really stupid and convoluted. Who knows? This is Taken 3. Oh. Okay. So yeah, I got back from Taken 3. Quick synopsis of what I thought of the first ones. I deeply enjoyed the first one. I think the first one was a real pleasant surprise of an action movie. Had a decent story, basic but good story, good acting all around. Liam Neeson's a badass and a great actor. It was believable in its weird way. It was believable. Second one, I've only seen like the second half of it, and for what it is, it's fine, but it's not the same. It's not the first one. It has a great line at the end, but that's one of the only things I can really give it, besides Liam Neeson still carries the movie. So, that out of the way, what did I think of this one? It's better than the second one, but that's not saying a whole lot, saying the second one wasn't that good. It's really, the plot is nothing more than The Fugitive. And honestly, if you told me how you'd put it, I'd say go see The Fugitive instead of seeing this movie. It's a far better movie. This movie's not bad. It's just it took a franchise that started here, then it went down to here. Now it's kind of a little more up here. It's like a little above generic, I'd say. And I say a little above because the only thing that's really got going for it is Liam Neeson and Forest Whitaker. That's the only thing I can really say about this movie that's really got anything going for it. The villain's not that the villain is technically 2 villains. Am I going to spoil this? I'm going to say I'm going to spoil this one. You'll always know when to spoil it because they'll say spoilers, but, I kind of think on the fly whether I'm going to spoil something, and I guess I'll spoil this. Okay, the plot is, obviously, you see it in the trailer. He gets framed for the murder of his ex-wife, who's soon to be his lover, at least again. That she's in a loveless marriage at that point, and blah, blah, blah. So he gets set up for her murder, and he goes to find out the guys who did it. And right off the bat, something is wrong. At least, obviously, I could tell there was something wrong. I'm sure everyone else can kind of tell, too. The husband, the one she's currently married to, there's something up with him. And you don't know for a while if he's involved, and it kind of turns out he is, but kind of not. And then, spoiler, he turns out to be the guy who kind of set this whole shit up, all for money. And because he thought Liam Neeson was boning his wife, who was his ex-wife, and who obviously they still had love for each other. And it turns out he was not banging her. He was not. He wanted to, but it's like, why are you so damn honorable? I don't know. I really regret it right now. I'm like, because Liam Neeson doesn't do anything like badass for like the first 20 minutes of the film. He's really just being Liam Neeson, living his life and stuff like that, because he doesn't want to be that person anymore. But it's kind of fine to watch that. Liam Neeson carries the movie perfectly fine. He's a great actor. I like watching Liam Neeson. He's still solid in the action sequences. Most of the action sequences he's in, where it's him actually like physically fighting or shooting or doing a car chase, are pretty freaking good. There's some shaky cam involved that I wasn't fond of, but even then the shaking cam worked at a few points. There's a scene where he basically caused a sprinkler system to go off in his daughter's school so he could escape the FBI. And there's a scene, he disappears into a crowd, and we vaguely see like a very blurry picture of him walking away from it with everyone running, and then we cut away. I'm like, that's an effective use of as they dub it, shaky cam. Because they basically say, Berserker is basically saying that, this is a guy who knows how to disappear. You're not going to find him if he doesn't want you to find him, basically. So, it's like, that's kind of a good way to illustrate that. He just kind of blends in and disappears. Forest Whitaker is Forest Whitaker. I can't think of anything where he's not good. Even Battlefield Earth, which is a horrible movie, he's fine in it. He is. For what it's worth, he's fine. He's not, when you are first line to spell your name, he's not being over the top John Travolta in that movie. So, in Forest Whitaker, yeah, he's fine. he's the Tommy Lee Jones in this movie to Liam Neeson's Harrison Ford. He's guy trying to find him, and they rarely ever share the moment on screen together, except like near the end or like in the same office talking about what happened. He's got his little quirks, like all those really good FBI agents do. He's got the little chess piece he twirls around. He's playing a little rubber band a lot. So he's a very capable investigator. And that being said, he never seems surprised by what's happening at all. I'm like, you're taking this way too easily. I'm just taking it in stride, and there's almost being in on it. Because at points it's almost like he's almost in on it for some reason. Yet no, it wasn't unbelievable. It's just I guess you could say he's seasoned. I guess, but the fact that Liam Neeson is this kind of person does not surprise him at all. But yeah, I mean, the villain we think is the villain is like this Russian gangster and stuff like that, and then Liam Neeson, kills him. Because he killed his wife, kind of. He shoots him and it lets him bleed out, I guess. Which, surprisingly, there was no blood from those gunshot wounds. He even sticks the fucking nozzle of the gun in the wound to just, torture him a little bit. No blood. Nothing. Like, so not only are you a cold-blooded Russian ex-Spetsnaz assassin, killer, henchman, whatever, but you're apparently not even human, because you're not bleeding at all. I'm like, what? But then, the husband... It's fucking money. That's the only fucking thing. And that he thought Liam Neeson was banging his wife, and he didn't like that. And he sets it up so because he owed the Russian guy money. So he took out. They both had $12 million life insurance policies on each other, him and the wife. But if she divorced him, obviously that doesn't work anymore. So he sets it up so they kill her. He gets a life insurance policy, and then Liam Neeson goes out and kills them, so he doesn't have to pay them the money. And then, he gets shot. And there's a kind of nice little... I wouldn't even say it's a nice... There's a cute little nod to the first movie where it's just like, no, yeah, with your lawyers, I bet you'll get out in jail in a couple of years. And then I will find you. And then you know what will happen next. I'm like, okay, if you know the first movie, you know what that's kind of a play on, and it's kind of cute. The problem is, this movie felt... Well, first off, this movie felt longer than it needed to be. It was like only an hour and 15 minutes, or hour 50 minutes, and it felt longer. It did. I actually checked my phone. I'm like, it felt like 2 hours. This felt at least 2 hours, and it's not even 2 hours. Because once we get into the plot of the husband actually turning out to be the bad guy, it gets convoluted, very much so, and it's annoying. We got to see his team. I don't know if they're the same actors from the first one who we kind of saw as his team. They're like it's like a group of four. It's like he's got a four-man squad. They're his friends, his buddies from the CIA, but they're all like professionals too. We get to see them kind of do black ops shit a little bit, helping him protect his daughter and whatnot. They were actually really cool to see. I think one of his friends was played by the same guy who played Murdoch in the A-Team. He played the King in Maleficent. I think he was the main actor in District 9. He's in a lot of Neil Blomkamp stuff, or Blomkamp. I can't pronounce his name. Maybe I'm pronouncing it right. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. But I'm pretty sure that was him. And he was fine. They were all cool. They were all cool characters. I honestly would like to see like a prequel to this where we actually see him kind of doing this shit, or just the side stories of him doing the jobs with these people. Because despite, wanting to get out of the world, he's still obviously working in this world. It's obviously how he makes his living. Because we never once see him actually have a job. But he still lives in a very nice, actually, apartment. Same as his daughter, who's going to college. Which there's a subplot of her being pregnant and stuff like that, which, okay. You needed her to be pregnant. And it's like, because that's the end of the movie. The end of the movie is them sitting on a bench at the pier, talking about, everybody knows a girl, we're going to name it after Mom's. Like, I think she'd like that. Credits. I'm not lying. That's the way the movie ends, with some song I can't think of. It wasn't that memorable. That's the problem. This movie's just not that memorable for a lot of it. I mean, there's action, and some of it's like wacky and over top. There's a scene where fucking like a tanker, not even a tanker, just a cargo truck with a fucking metal tank or metal holding container, just like, stops, swerves, and then the container goes flipping, and like 5 people I'm sure are dead because they hit like 5 different vehicles. But other than that, I mean, the action's fine, but this movie just seems like it drags. And I think a lot of it's kind of the same problem I had with Into the Woods, is that it's if it cut off, like, basically, it's the Russian mobster was the villain, I think it would have been fine where it left off, but because of that, it kind of lost a little appeal. And at the same time, I kind of knew after a little while. Hi, Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell's right here. Come here, Tinkerbell. Give the cat a pet. She's a mean one. Now she's gonna be in my lap. Let's see. Is she gonna be on camera? Come on, come on, join me on camera, Tinkerbell. Come on, up you go. Yay! And then wait a minute. Oh, Tinkerbell. I know, but I mean, I knew something was up with the husband. After, like, even the first time we see him, we're like, he's saying that don't come near my wife, at least not until all this shit is resolved with our marriage. And I'm like, okay, but something's not right here. And then I'm like, he's got him in a warehouse where he's waterboarding him. I'm like, oh, holy shit. And that was a pretty nice. That was a nice, intense little torture scene there, because waterboarding's no joke, folks. I don't understand why people just, don't hold their breaths, but maybe, obviously, there's more to waterboarding, because I've never been nor have waterboarded anyone. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it, folks. And cat butt. But yeah, once he got involved, the movie lost something for me. I think, and he didn't do a bad job. I think his name is Douglas Ray. Wait, hold on 1 second. I have the thing up right now. Is it Douglas Ray? Boyfriend? Of course you're not going to give me the actual thing. All right, whatever. I want to say it was like Douglas Ray or something. I think that was his name. It was fine. No one, I think, did a bad job acting-wise. Even Maggie Grace, who's the daughter, who I'm okay with in the first one and didn't care that much about in the second one, because we care more about Liam Neeson than we care about the daughter. She was fine. Everyone's fine. Liam Neeson's actually got a few moments of actual being kind of funny, and she's he kidnaps he's got a cop at gunpoint, and they're driving the cop car, and he just puts it. It's like, give me your now get out, keys, phone, radio. It's like, this is not going to end well for you. Don't be so pessimistic. Like, that was actually pretty funny, but it goes into the Fast and Furious territory of how absurd it gets at points. He survives a situation where you don't even see how he survives. He literally backs a fucking police car. He's in a parking garage, and he's basically, he's like staring at police cars. He puts the car in reverse, backs up into the elevator. The car falls down. He's struggling to get out. The gas leaks, ignites, and the car explodes, completely blowing up the fucking elevator shaft. And then we see him about 10 seconds later talking on the phone with Forrest Whitaker. How did you survive that? There's a nursing where you go training down a fucking cliff in a car, and the car explodes. But they at least actually show you how he kind of survived that one. And in that scene, they didn't show you at all how he survived that. And a few scenes, I had to snicker, because Liam Neeson running is hilarious, because he's not really running. He's kind of just like gallivanting, jogging, and barely. Liam Neeson's a tall dude, but he's also, I believe, 60 now. It makes sense where he's not like Sylvester Stallone, where he's doing what he can to stay in shape and keep going. No, he's he's in good shape for his age. I mean, he is. He's a big dude. He's like 6'4". He's huge, and you can tell he's still in pretty decent shape. But he's also, he understands, I think, his physical limitations on a few of these things. Like running, I think, is not something he can do or wants to do, and I respect him for that. Hugh Jackman's one of those people who he hates doing running scenes because he's actually got a bad knee. I mean, he can walk and all that stuff, and he can do jogging, but he hates doing heavy, hard running because it's hard on his knees. So it's like, actors who do the action roles but know their limitations, I respect for that completely. And there's an scene where throughout most of the movie, I'm thinking this question because it's the scene where you see him escape from the cops and the FBI, and he basically falls into a sewer, basically goes into a sewer and walks out. I'm like, whole rest of the time, I'm like, is he smelling like shit for the rest of this movie? Because he is in a sewer. He is in sewage right now. You can tell that's not dirty water. It's not muddy water. Let's put it that way. You can tell that's brown water is brown for a reason. But yeah, I'm kind of just thinking. I'm just thinking like weird things throughout this movie for certain effects. I don't know. That's all I really have. I'm keeping this short just because I don't have a lot to talk about. I didn't think I'd have a great deal to talk about, and I don't have a great talk about. It's passable. It's better than the second one. I would recommend anyone who wants to see, who likes Liam Neeson, who likes the franchise, give it at least one watch, just to say you watched it. They said this is the final one. They said the second one was the final one too, but then here's how I see that happen. It's like, no, there's no Taken 3. Well, then they waved a fucking check in my face, and then here we go. One more gallivanting romp through the motions, as they say. So yeah, I'll give a rating as soon as I give the trailer, which I got one trailer. I got a trailer for a movie called 71. This is, I don't know when this is taking place. It's taking place in Scotland, I believe, or at least England or Britain or something like that. It's about a British soldier who's basically stuck in the crossfire of the Protestant versus Catholic, like flat on like war going on in these flats in this part of the country. And it's about him trying to basically survive and get back home to his, I think it's his brother, not his son. And, you know, sees the people he meets and stuff like that. And how they're not all bad. It looked good. It looked intense. I'd give it a watch if it's anywhere local. Yeah, that's the only one I got. I mean, I got trailers I've seen before. I got Chappie again. I got the Kingsman Secret Service. I got that again. It's a different trailer. I've seen the trailer, though. I've seen the Red Band version of the trailer. That's pretty fun. So, yeah, that's all I got. Next week, I believe, is The Ringer, American Sniper, Black Hat, and Paddington. Oh, man. I do not know which one I'll be seeing on Thursday. I have a feeling that at least one of them will not be, like, mainstreamed. If I had to guess which one's not going to be mainstreamed, it would probably be... I don't know, honestly, I think all of them would be mainstream. I just don't know which one of them I'd be able to catch. Which one do I want to catch so I can talk about it? Probably be Paddington, in all honesty, because I think that'd make for an entertaining review. But else, I'll catch Wedding Ringer, I'll catch Black Hat, I'll catch American Sniper, I'll catch any of them, really. I'll catch at least 2 of them next week. I can't guarantee I'll catch them all, but, yeah. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want us to review something, put it in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And, you know, if you want us to just talk about something non-political, as I always put a little note on, not political. We do not talk politics. If you want us to talk about something else, though, anything really, just put it in the comments below. Get in touch with us. We'll talk about it at some point. So thanks for watching. See you next time.